Well, Happy New Year to everyone watching in the Rokani Media Football, the football news show. And we're here to obviously do something concerning the transfers. I tell you, it's really, it's now hours away from obviously seeing the January transfer window opening up. And when it opens up, I don't know what is really going to be crossing your mind as a person who really loves the transfer window. I know you guys are really geared up for the summer transfer, for the winter transfer window. And very many teams are being linked to different teams in particular, and we're here to obviously talk about Matheus Cunha from Wolverhampton Wanderers, Arsenal being one of the front runners, obviously go and chase for his signature in the January transfer window. Then we're also looking at Enzo Maresca. Chelsea losing yesterday to Ipswich by 2-0. Ipswich's first win of the season at home. He has spoken. The same applies to Maki Kurela and Omarison. He's called Omari Hutchinson, that Arsenal former player or graduate has come up and obviously spoken, because he came up and scored a beauty as he obviously nailed the final nail into the coffin of Chelsea at their stadium. Smash the like button, comment and share, and continue to subscribe. I told you I want us to hit 24,000 subscribers before we obviously enter 2024, and we are hours away, and I know it's really gonna be happening. Remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets. Mono Gadgets are dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops, and if at all you need a used phone and a used laptop from the United Kingdom, call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and you'll thank me later. Then they also deal in affordable smartwatches. If at all you really want an affordable smartwatch, call them onto that number. That is +256 70 99 88 665, and you'll thank me later. Even if you need anything else, they'll be at your supply or at your service, and you can also find them on TikTok. Now, Matheus Cunha is one of those players that is going to obviously make rounds of news, and he has been linked to Arsenal. And the first person to obviously break this story in this period was The Athletic, and they came up and obviously told us the following. And you know who The Athletic are? They are what we call an authentic source, and they told us that Arsenal are long-term admirers of Wolves' Matheus Cunha. Although he is not currently among their primary targets, the club have been impressed by his performances this season and are monitoring his situation. So, Athletic tells us the club is monitoring the situation of Matheus Cunha, right? They are monitoring the situation of Matheus Cunha. That is it. So, meaning that monitoring a player is really very important, and Arsenal have been impressed by his performance this season. And what has his performance been like this season? In the Premier League, he has played 19 games. He has 10 goals and 4 assists. That is Matheus Cunha, and he's elevating his trajectory every other day that obviously comes by, and he's not really stopping. I tell you, he's not stopping, and he's really putting in shift after shift. And last season, he played 32 games, scored 12 goals, and he had 7 assists, and he's just 2 goals away from really leveling up his number that he obviously did last season, and 3 assists from making it to 7. So I tell you, he's really great, and he's a very good player. And that shows you that his performance this season have gone to obviously excite the side of us, and they're like, let's get in Matheus Cunha, and he's really one of those that has gone to obviously annihilate Manchester United. On Boxing Day, if you watch that beautiful game of football, you went ahead obviously see what really went down at that stadium. You understand? He really went ahead, obviously put in a very big show, being responsible for scoring the first goal. It was a set piece, a corner, and then the second goal, he provided an assist. He's really on fire, and the man is really in lightning form. At Wolverhampton Wanderers, he's doing wonders after wonders, and that's why teams like Arsenal have gone ahead to obviously put in a very big shift. Though Wolves is not in a very good position, having 16 points, but they're really having a man that they want to obviously keep and not sell him to obviously let them go to the next levels they really deserve. And when they are drawing with Spurs, that is on the 29th of December, he was not on target, but he really went ahead to obviously play very many minutes of that entire game of football. And he was taken off, and he went ahead obviously putting a very beautiful show into the mix. That is Matheus Cunha for you. And thereafter, we get a story coming in from Telegraph. They are also a credible source coming in through from the from England, confirming to us that Arsenal are interested in signing Wolves forward who goes by the names of Matheus Cunha. So now, from monitoring to Arsenal being interested in signing that player, you now know what you're talking about. He's one of those players that I believe he has grown, and he was sold from Atletico Madrid and brought to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and his development has been really enormous, and very many clubs are really going to be looking at him. In the summer transfer window, as United were looking in for a second striker to obviously come up and compete with Rasmus Højlund, Matheus Cunha was one of those that was really thought of, and he really made a very big show up into the mix. That is Matheus Cunha to the side of Arsenal. So, looks like Arsenal has gone ahead obviously increase its or enlarge its list. From a story coming in through from Court Offside that Arsenal have pulled out of the race of Victor Gyökeres, now they're having the following strikers onto their market. Alexandria Isak. They're having Matheus Cunha. Benjamin Šeško. Jonathan David. They're having a list of 5, and I know that list can obviously increase anytime from now, but they're really doing a very beautiful show, and their service is really unmatched for the side of Arsenal. So that is exactly what you're having right now, and I don't know what your thoughts are about it, but I believe he's a very beautiful player that can come in and obviously transform the side of Arsenal. And when I was planning or doing a prep for this story, I was like, when Edu was here, we only thought that Arsenal was interested in signing Brazilian players because of Edu being the head of the football affairs at the club of Arsenal. But even after his departure, Arsenal are really showing huge interest in Matheus Cunha. And when you look at the prices, because I'm really going to be telling you a story or doing a story of Ishak very soon, as his price has been set, and it is at £150 million. And Arsenal, if they are to spend £150 million on one player, that means it's the only player they are going to obviously bring in, and I don't think that should be the plan. So these other players they're looking at, like Benjamin Šeško, who can go for like 70 million euros. The same applies to Matheus Cunha. You can get him at 70 million euros. Have come up and obviously put in a very huge alternative for the club of Arsenal, and they are Premier League proven. Matheus Cunha is Premier League proven. The same applies to Alexandra Isak, and you never know what Cunha would have gone ahead to be doing when he's playing in for a side of Newcastle, because Newcastle has more quality up front that can obviously create chances for this guy. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Through smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. But for Matheus Cunha, he's really great and he's really lovely and lovable. I just want to obviously see to it that all goes on well as planned for the club of Arsenal, because for me, as they go into the January transfer window, I still insist that the striker is not the problem. I think Arsenal need to bring in a player who is really multi-purposeful but left-footed. A player who can play in the Bukayo Saka position and can switch a little bit into the midfield, especially to do that Odegaard role. And I think they can look around and obviously find that player, because they are really scouting those players left, right, and center. So that is Matheus Cunha for you. Arsenal are really in for him, and you're waiting to see how Arsenal are really going to do this, because the transfer window is opening in just hours from now. That is the winter transfer window, and it's really going to be hot like paper. So that's what I really believe the player is all about. But for me, I like Matheus Cunha. He's a very good player, Brazilian, and when he comes in through at Arsenal, he won't obviously find himself out of place. Arsenal is having very many Brazilians. Gabriel Magalhães, Gabriel Jesus, Martinelli. Those are three. And there is also Jorginho, who is Brazilian, but he plays for Italy, but he's also Brazilian. And you know that they also connect well with the likes of David Raya, who really speak Spanish. You know, that is all Latin, you know. So I think he'll have a very good conducive environment in the club of Arsenal that will help him really thrive in as a player there. So that is Matheus Cunha for you. And let's leave it at that. And I remember there is one of you who really went ahead and commented and asked, what about Matheus Cunha? And I'm like, please, sit in there. I'm going to be really breaking the story of Matheus Cunha. And finally, I've gone ahead, obviously, do it in here onto the Rokani Media Football. Then, Enzo Maresca. Yesterday, Chelsea went ahead, obviously, lose to Ipswich by 2-0. And this is where we had Enzo Maresca had to say the following on there. They said a bit strange game in terms of I think we created so many chances first half. Early in the second half, we had some chances. Again, the second goal killed the game a bit. When talks about creating chances, I brought you the stats yesterday. They had 20 shots at goal, you know, but their composure in front of goal really denied them a chance to obviously do the needful, and obviously went ahead, obviously put in a very big show for the player. So, sorry, for the team of Ipswich. And for Chelsea, obviously, they never really had an excuse, you know, because it is really coming, you know, and it has been really consistent. In the previous 3 games, Chelsea were the closest, obviously, chase the side of Liverpool. But in the previous 3 games, Chelsea has gone ahead to drop 8 points. Hear me out. Chelsea have gone ahead to drop 8 points. And when you drop 8 points, you haven't gone ahead to give yourself a chance to obviously come in through and see yourself competing for the big trophies. You understand? Because if you add 8 to those that they have, because they have like 35, they would have gone ahead to be 43. And as I speak right now, as we went into the new year, Chelsea would have gone ahead, obviously come in here and obviously be that side that is really on top of the Premier League table. Because Liverpool, Chelsea would have gone ahead to be 2 points behind Liverpool. You understand? Because Liverpool is having 45 points. So, all those points that Chelsea has gone ahead to drop are really costing them, and Enzo Maresca knows it well, that it was really bad. And I've gone ahead to see the manager of Chelsea say, we are not here to compete for the trophy. But I tell you, they don't want to obviously come and dislodge it or really speak it out loud that they're really chasing for the trophy. But I tell you what, they are really chasing for this trophy. That is it. They won't come and say it, but that's the fact, you know. That is the open secret or the untold secret to the public. But we all know to it that they had put in a very good run of games, but they've gone ahead to implode in the previous 3 games. And Mark Cucurella has come out and said that sometimes we have good luck, sometimes not. It's part of football. We have to take positives and see where we can improve. When we win, we are not the best. But when we lose, we are not the worst. We have to try to win the games. That is it. So, he's trying to put out that narrative, but all in all, they've gone ahead obviously to find themselves onto the losing position, and they need to obviously come up and raise their stockings, because if they don't, I don't think they'll have any soft spot. And their next fixtures in the Premier League, they are going to be playing out at Crystal Palace. That is on the 4th of January. Then host Bournemouth, 14th January. Host Wolves, 20th January. And 25th January, they're going to be playing away at City. So those are their next 1, 2, 3, 4 fixtures in the month of January. So if all goes well as to plan and they get back to the winning ways, they'll obviously find themselves back into the rest to obviously chase the side of Liverpool. But Arsenal has a chance to obviously close in also. They are playing Brentford tomorrow. If Arsenal can beat Brentford tomorrow, I tell you what, they'll obviously put in a very wonderful show and shift. So that is Chelsea for you, and that's what the manager really had to say about the club of Chelsea. So after that, the man Omari Hutchinson, who went ahead to obviously be part of the side that went ahead to obviously seal it for Ipswich, as it acted as the last nail in the coffin for Chelsea in the 53rd minute, has come out and obviously had something to say. And remember, he was a Chelsea player. How did he get to Chelsea from Arsenal? He went to Chelsea. Chelsea promised him heaven and earth, and he was like, he was like, let me get a loan at Ipswich in the Championship. He did very well, and you all know the rest. And the rest is history for this player. He has come up on several occasions and put in a very, very beautiful performance day in, day out. And that's what makes him a special kind of player. So yesterday, he went ahead, obviously, honed his own team that saw him really get to Ipswich. And this is what he said. I'm grateful for what Chelsea did in my career. They gave me my debut, but I'm playing for Ipswich now, and I want to score and help my team get 3 points and help us stay up. So Ipswich is one of those teams that are really performing badly. Them and Southampton are really looking bad, and they went ahead to obviously get their first home win. And I think that can obviously help them really elevate to see to it that their spirits are really high, and confidence will grow hugely into them to obviously do the needful. And they came into this game of football after going to Emirates and seeing Arsenal beat them by just 1-0. And it shows you how they've gone ahead to improve as a side. And Kieran McKenna knows it well that all he has in his pocket to save his job is to keep this team into the Premier League. And when he does, the rest is going to be history. And that win took them to 18th position, and they're having 15 points. And we, as the fans of Manchester United, I'm talking myself and the United fans, have come up and obviously found themselves into a position that is really very bad, because we are 7 points off Ipswich, off the relegation zone, and it's not really looking great. So we are waiting to see how that pans out. But Cunha to Arsenal is the lead story, and I'm calling in for your reactions into the comment section below about Matheus Cunha to Arsenal. What are your thoughts about it? May the new year be great for you. And this is Rokani David. Happy New Year to everyone. We have countries like Japan, Australia, and very many others. They've already gone ahead, obviously, enter New Year, and you're waiting for this in my country. We are like 2.5 hours to enter the new year. And tell me where you are right now. How many hours are left for you to enter the new year of 2025? Bye-bye.